Tom Lee just told us the exact reason we need to get ready right away, especially if we have XRP or any other crypto altcoin. But first, let's take a quick look at the market before we really get into what Tom Lee just said. For the past 2 weeks, I've been talking about the signs we need to look out for in order to get ready for this market to really blow up. Most of it was ours. First, stock prices are higher than they've ever been. A lot more M2 is being made available. Before they cut rates, the Fed looks like they're on their last big leg. This could happen in July. As soon as it happens, the markets will go through the roof. If not, we'll probably wait until September. Besides that, though, I think we'll soon catch up to stocks. Many parts of the market look like they're getting ready for a big move right now. Besides that, we are also keeping a close eye on Ethereum. You see, we need to keep a close eye on Ethereum because as soon as it starts to do better than Bitcoin, people will start talking about how Ethereum might be able to flip Bitcoin. It's said almost every cycle that Ethereum will flip Bitcoin and do other things as well. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't always turn into reality. Let's be honest about this. But what it does is create a lot of buzz about Ethereum, which makes a lot of people buy it, which drives up its value. Then there's the normal trickle-down effect for old coins. Today is the same. Okay, when it comes to most of these old coins, the main thing I'm looking at is how close they are to breaking out in a big way. When it comes to XRP, the picture pretty much says everything. I don't even need to open TradingView to look at this chart in a moment. I'll open TradingView. What does this chart tell you when we look at it? Right now, we are in a long build-up zone that goes sideways. We're getting stronger. I've been talking about how we're just waiting for something to happen in this blue zone for a couple of weeks now. We're waiting for something to happen quickly. I don't think that hasty move will happen until Bitcoin's power really goes down. At this point, we are also keeping an eye on Ethereum because it has the largest market cap. This is Ethereum's market capitalization over the last 3 weeks, going all the way back to October 2021. We could see that since the high point in 2021, we've been going in a straight line. You know, macro or trend lines have been giving us a boost. This is the big trend. We're just kind of putting things together right now, has been putting things together the whole time. And it's been a while since Ethereum hit a new all-time high. It's been over 1,337 days. Now we'll probably stay in this range for a little while longer until we really break out in a big way. But I do think that the Ethereum market cap is also getting ready for a big move. As I already said, I've been talking about the start of part 2 of alt season. That's when Ethereum starts to do better than Bitcoin. Not until the Ethereum Bitcoin charts really breaks out will we get there. This is Ethereum vs Bitcoin, and it's what I've been interested in. This goes all the way back to April when we finally hit rock bottom. It's been really slow. Yes, I do believe this is the lowest point for Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is a major level that we just hit that goes all the way back to 2020 and even 2019. As soon as we take back this upper trend line, I think we'll also be able to take back some big support and really get Ethereum's price going up against Bitcoin. Now, the most important sign that this will happen is that Ethereum's popularity is rising very quickly compared to Bitcoin's popularity. Starting in 2022, Bitcoin has had a very strong hold on the market. We've been waiting calmly for something happen on the Bitcoin dominance chart that would make it go down. That's because this whole space is going to wake up in a big way when Bitcoin dominance starts to drop while Bitcoin is growing. That's when we look at Ethereum to see if it's coming back to life and for its market cap to really wake up. Tom Lee, on the other hand, told us on June 2 that he believes Bitcoin could reach $250,000, 0 cents. It wasn't just $250,000, 0 cents, though. Pay close attention to what he says, because I agree with him. Has been mined for 95% of all Bitcoin, but 95% of people in the world don't have Bitcoin. I just think that there is still a big gap between demand and supply, which means that over the next 10 years, there will be a lot more people who want to buy Bitcoin. So I think there's a lot of room for growth until the end of the year when your 150 goal is reached. Yes, 150, 200, or even 250 this year. What? 150 to 200 or even 250. Have you thought about how much that would cost you? in the end? Well, I believe it should have at least the same value on the network as gold. And the gold that's above ground is probably worth 23 trillion. That's about 1.2 million Bitcoin. Then, but I believe Bitcoin is worth more than gold. So, like gold, Bitcoin could be worth $2 or $3 million in the long run. I mean, even more. 95% of he says between 150K and 250K by the end of 2025. That fits with what I've been thinking, right? What I think is that $150,000, 0 cents, is where we should really start to lower the risk of crypto. However, there is a strong likelihood that we will reach 200K because so many businesses use Bitcoin and so much attention is paid to it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we did look for around $200,000, 0 cents. I do believe that 120K is the next goal for Bitcoin. What about Ethereum, though? Well, Tom Lee became a chairman of Bitmine not long ago. The company wants to get $250 million, 0 cents, and build up one of the biggest public Ethereum funds. This will make it the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. We also got this movie that shows Tom Lee's view that Ethereum is the next Bitcoin. Look at this. Fundstrat's Tom Lee is here with us now. Besides that, he works for CNBC and has news this morning. The Bitcoin miner Bitmine Immersion Technologies said that Tom will be its new chair. Hey, Tom, first of all, welcome. This is very important news. It's a bit complicated, but to sum it up, you're all doing pretty much the same thing that MicroStrategy did with Ether. The things you buy through this will be paid for with Ether. This is how you're going to set everything up. Do you want to say something more? Sure, I'm happy to. As you know, I still really like Bitcoin because I believe it is like digital gold. But recently in 2025, the financial services industry and crypto are starting to work together more. It all began with stable coins, which are like the Bitcoin of crypto, right? Because people, companies, banks, and now even Visa are using it like crazy. Ethereum is what the stablecoin business is built on. That sounds a lot like the structure and backbone of stablecoins. To protect the network and have some say in how it works, it's important to make a project that basically gathers Ethereum. To buy Ethereum, that's why we're making this bank vehicle. The more Ethereum that is in circulation, the safer the network is. Plus, I believe it's a lot like how banks will be built in the future. You know, when Goldman and JP Morgan release a safe coin on Ethereum as a layer 1 blockchain, they'll want to stake Ethereum to protect it. By making a fund, we're trying to be ahead of that. Why? So I get it. Having more of it makes it safer. Describe the reason for that. Yes. Ethereum is a proof of stake network. Proof of work in Bitcoin means that miners do all the work for you. That's why Ethereum has decentralized trust. It's important for these groups to basically confirm transactions. By becoming a staking entity, you're basically making sure that stable coins will stay stable. That's why you don't want a safe coin like USDC or USDT to be on a blockchain that isn't controlled by the US. So I think Ethereum is a good blockchain network. It's the second biggest, and over 51% of stablecoins and 30% of all fees on Ethereum are actually stablecoin revenue.